Welcome to my channel, The World Coin. Hello and welcome, coin lovers. This channel is dedicated to the fascinating world of coins from every corner of the globe. From ancient currency to modern mints, rare finds to everyday coins, we explore their history, design, and hidden stories. So subscribe now and join our growing community of coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and curious minds. I have 4 videos of 1 dime. So let's get started. The United States 1935 1 dime, officially known as the Winged Liberty Head dime but commonly called the Mercury dime, stands as one of the most admired silver coins ever minted in American history. Even though the coin bears no image of the Roman god Mercury, the resemblance created by the winged cap worn by Liberty inspired generations of collectors to adopt that nickname, which remains famous worldwide. The year 1935 falls in a period where America was still struggling through the Great Depression, a time of unemployment, economic instability, and national hardship. This historical setting gives the 1935 dime not only monetary significance but also emotional, cultural, and symbolic depth. The designer, renowned sculptor Adolf A. Weinman, created this coin with a vision of youthful liberty, bold symbolism, and artistic elegance. The obverse front features a beautiful portrait of Lady Liberty, facing left, wearing a Phrygian cap adorned with wings. The wings on the cap represent freedom of thought, a core American value that expresses liberty not only in physical movement but also in intellectual, creative, and moral independence. Surrounding the portrait is the word, Liberty, spaced around the upper rim, designed with classical proportions and clean typography. Beneath Liberty's chin appears, "In God We Trust," and at the bottom of the coin is the date 1935, struck in a compact but bold style. Liberty's hair is detailed with flowing strands, the wings show layered feathers, and the face is sculpted with refined realism. High-grade 1935 dimes display crisp definition in the curls and wing textures, while circulated examples show smoothing, especially on the forehead and the top wing feathers. Each detail of the design reflects early 20th century craftsmanship, when sculptural artistry was considered integral to national coinage. On the reverse back of the 1935 dime, the symbolic imagery continues. The dominant feature is a fasces, a bundle of rods tied together by leather straps, with an axe blade extending upward on the left side. This Roman symbol conveys strength through unity, meaning that many rods bound together are stronger than one rod alone. This imagery expresses the collective strength of the United States, an especially powerful message during the Great Depression when national unity was essential. Twined around the fasces is an olive branch, representing peace, creating a balanced message of peace and strength together, a philosophy deeply embedded in American culture. Between the fasces and the olive leaves, there are fine line engravings and overlapping carvings that show the precision of Weinman's sculptural style. The inscriptions include, United States of America, along the top rim, 1 dime, at the bottom, and, E pluribus unum, out of many, 1, positioned vertically to the right of the fasces. The mint mark, if present, appears near the bottom to the right of the device, close to the base of the olive branch. For the year 1935, the coin was minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. San Francisco, S mint mark. Each mint produced different quantities, and each has distinct rarity levels in uncirculated condition. The Philadelphia issue is the most common, while the Denver and San Francisco pieces are scarcer, especially in high grades with well-defined full bands FB on the fasces. Full bands refers to the central bands on the fasces that appear completely separated and sharply struck. Since these horizontal bands were delicate and easily worn down, a full band 1935 dime is significantly more valuable than a regular uncirculated example. The 1935 Mercury dime is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters. The coin has a reeded edge, an important anti-counterfeiting feature used to prevent shaving or clipping small amounts of silver from the edges, a common issue in earlier centuries. The silver composition gives the coin a natural luster when freshly struck and allows it to develop beautiful toning over many decades. Depending on storage conditions, these tones can range from soft golden highlights to deep blue-violet halos and multicolor rainbow patterns, all of which add artistic and numismatic value. Historically, the year 1935 was a period where the U.S. Mint began improving production quality compared to the early Depression years. The 1935 dimes often show sharper strikes than some earlier 1930s issues, though strike quality still varies significantly by mint location. Denver minted coins occasionally show softness in the wing feathers and central bands, while San Francisco pieces may show light weakness in the upper fasces area. Because the economy was still recovering, millions of these dimes saw extensive circulation in stores, farms, factories, rail stations, street markets, and public transportation systems. Most people in 1935 handled silver coins daily, using them to buy basic goods, food, school supplies, bus tickets, and other necessities. This heavy use is why most surviving 1935 dimes show moderate to heavy wear. Uncirculated pieces with original mint luster are much scarcer and highly sought after by collectors. Numismatically, the 1935 Mercury dime holds an important place in the series. It represents a stable mid-series date that is accessible to new collectors but still interesting and challenging to acquire in high grade. For advanced collectors, the full bands 1935D and full bands 1935S examples are the true prizes, especially ones with frosty luster, clean fields, and crisp band separation. Exceptional specimens are often seen in major auctions and can command strong premiums. To authenticate a genuine 1935 dime, collectors examine the weight, diameter, reading pattern, metal fields, and fine details such as the texture of the wing feathers and the alignment of the lettering. Counterfeits are typically crude and fail to replicate the fine details of Weinmann's design. Genuine coins have sharp strikes, consistent silver coloration, and precise spacing between letters. If the coin has toned naturally, the color progression usually appears smooth rather than patchy or artificial. Culturally, the Mercury dime series remains famous for its artistic brilliance. Weinmann's design is frequently cited as one of the most beautiful U.S. coin designs ever created, rivaled only by the walking Liberty $50, which he also designed. The 1935 issue contributes to this legacy, serving as a snapshot of American resilience, artistry, and history. Each coin, no matter how worn, tells a story of people enduring hardship, building their lives, and participating in the daily economy of a transformative period. The 1935 dime's value can range from its basic silver melt value for heavily worn examples to significantly higher prices for high-grade mint state coins, especially those with full bands. Some exceptional examples graded Mississippi 67 or Mississippi 68 have achieved impressive auction results, proving that even common date coins can become rare treasures in elite condition. In summary, the 1935 United States Mercury dime is far more than a small silver coin. It is a piece of American history, a work of sculptural art, a symbol of peace and strength, and a beloved collectible in the numismatic world. Whether worn from decades of circulation or preserved with bright mint luster, it remains a timeless artifact that continues to captivate collectors and historians alike. Next video. The United States 1924 one dime, officially known as the Winged Liberty Head dime, but universally recognized as the Mercury dime, is a historically rich and artistically celebrated coin that reflects the spirit, craftsmanship, and symbolic identity of early 20th century America. Its designer, Adolph A. Weinmann, created a coin that is not only a piece of currency but a sculptural work of art. The year 1924 belongs to a period in American history when the country was transitioning from the aftermath of World War I into the economic and cultural shifts that would ultimately lead into the Roaring 1920s and the Great Depression that followed. The obverse front of the 1924 dime features the iconic portrait of Lady Liberty, depicted as a youthful figure wearing a Phrygian cap, a historical symbol of freedom, enhanced with wings on both sides. These wings represent freedom of thought and the limitless imagination of a free society. Liberty faces left, her hair flowing gracefully downward with stylized curls that reflect Weinmann's classical artistic inspiration. The word, liberty, arcs along the top edge of the coin, spaced in elegant lettering. Beneath Liberty's chin is the motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that communicates the nation's moral foundation during that period. The date 1924 is struck clearly at the bottom of the obverse, and to its right appear the designer's initials A, subtly placed to acknowledge the sculpture's contribution without detracting from the overall artistic harmony. When examined in high grade, the obverse exhibits sharpness in the wing feathers, detail in the curls of Liberty's hair, and strong relief in the facial features. In circulated examples, these same areas are the first to wear down. The upper wings become smooth, the hair loses texture, and Liberty's cheek flattens. The reverse back design continues with equally powerful symbolism. The centerpiece is a fasces, which is a bundle of rods tied together with leather straps, containing an axe blade. This classical Roman symbol represents strength through unity, meaning that the nation's power is derived from the togetherness of its people. Around the fasces is an olive branch, which symbolizes peace, creating a visual balance between strength and peaceful values. This combination reflects the belief that America should remain strong enough to defend itself yet peaceful enough to avoid unnecessary conflict. Around the reverse rim appear the inscriptions: United States of America, arching across the top, 1 dime, marking the denomination at the bottom, and E pluribus unum, out of many, 1, placed vertically to the right of the fasces. The mint mark, if present, appears to the right of the base of the fasces. For the year 1924, the mint issued coins from Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, S mint mark. Each mint produced different quantities, and each has distinct rarity levels, especially when it comes to high-grade coins with sharp strike details. The full band's FB designation on the reverse, indicating that the horizontal bands on the fasces are fully separated and sharply struck, dramatically increases the rarity and value of a 1924 dime. The center bands are the most important. If they show clear separation and no wear or flattening, the coin qualifies for the FB designation. Most circulated coins lack full bands because those lines wore down quickly during daily use. The 1924 Mercury dime is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighs 2.5 grams, and measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter. It has a reeded edge, which was originally a security feature to prevent clipping or shaving precious metal from the edge of silver coins. The silver composition gives the coin beautiful luster in high grade and allows natural toning over time. Toning can range from soft champagne gold to deep blues, purples, fiery reds, or rainbow patterns depending on storage conditions and the environment in which the coin was kept. The historical backdrop of 1924 adds depth to the coin's story. America was in the middle of a technological and cultural awakening. Automobiles were becoming more common, radio broadcasting was transforming entertainment, manufacturing was accelerating, and the country was experiencing economic growth. Silver coins circulated heavily and were used for everyday purchases such as groceries, transportation fares, medicine, clothing, newspapers, and small household items. Because of this heavy circulation, most surviving 1924 dimes show moderate wear, making high-grade survivors special and sought after. Numismatically, the 1924 Mercury dime holds a respected place in the series. It is considered a mid-series date, neither extremely rare nor overly common, and it is valued for its balance of historical significance, artistic detail, and collectability. The Philadelphia issue is the most common, while the Denver and San Francisco mint pieces can be tougher to find sharply struck. In particular, 1924's dimes in high grade with full bands are considered scarce and can bring strong premiums at auction. Collectors evaluating a 1924 dime look for several key features: sharp wing feathers on Liberty's cap, detailed curls, smooth fields free from scratches, and crisp separation of the central fasces bands. A coin with sharp strike and excellent luster is especially prized. Authenticating a 1924 dime involves checking its weight, metallic sound, strike quality, and fine details such as lettering style and spacing. Counterfeits are uncommon but do exist, usually targeting high-grade pieces because of their higher market value. The Mercury dime series is widely appreciated for its artistic excellence, and the 1924 issue contributes to this legacy through its refined details and symbolic imagery. Many collectors consider the Mercury dime to be one of the most beautiful U.S. coins ever minted, often compared to Weinman's Walking Liberty $50, which shares similar stylistic elegance. The 1924 dime remains a pillar of American coinage history, representing both artistic beauty and national ideals. In terms of value, heavily circulated examples are generally affordable, but high-grade coins, especially those graded Mississippi 65, Mississippi 66, or higher, can be significantly more valuable. Full bands examples are rarer and can command exceptional prices, especially from the Denver and San Francisco mints. Coins with attractive toning also appeal greatly to advanced collectors. Ultimately, the 1924 United States Mercury dime is far more than a small silver coin. It is a piece of America's artistic heritage, a symbol of strength and peace, and a tangible link to a transformative era in the nation's history. Whether worn from decades of use or preserved in brilliant condition, it continues to fascinate collectors, historians, and enthusiasts from around the world. Next video. The 1928 United States $1 dime, commonly known as the 1928 Mercury dime, is one of the most iconic and historically rich small silver coins produced in the early 20th century. This coin is part of the famous winged Liberty Head dime series, minted from 1916 to 1945, and designed by the renowned sculptor Adolph A. Weinman. The 1928 dime represents an era full of economic expansion, artistic renaissance, and increasing industrial growth in the United States. Positioned in the heart of the Roaring Twenties, this coin captures the spirit of freedom, innovation, and beauty that defined America in this period. Its elegant design, meaningful symbolism, and real silver composition are key reasons why it is loved, collected, studied, and treasured by millions of numismatists today. The coin itself becomes a miniature historical document, a powerful reminder of the years leading up to some of the most dramatic events in American financial history, including the profound crash of 1929 and the early steps towards the Great Depression. The obverse, or the front side of the 1928 Mercury dime, features the magnificent portrayal of Lady Liberty wearing a winged Phrygian cap. These wings are not merely decorative, they symbolize freedom of thought, freedom of expression, and the intellectual liberty that the United States idealizes. Many people, especially beginners, mistake this portrait for the Roman god Mercury, which is why the entire series became known worldwide as the Mercury dime. However, the design is actually an artistic interpretation of Liberty herself, reimagined as a youthful and energetic figure representing the forward-thinking mindset of America. The word liberty surrounds the upper half of the coin, while the powerful national motto "In God We Trust" rests subtly on the left. The date, 1928, appears at the bottom of the coin, clean and crisp when preserved in good condition. The detail in Liberty's face, hair, and cap can greatly influence the value of the coin, as sharper details indicate less wear and therefore higher collectible worth. Turning the coin over, the reverse back displays one of the most symbolically rich designs in American coinage, the fasces and olive branch. The fasces, an ancient Roman symbol made of a bundle of rods tied together around an axe, represents unity, authority, and strength through cooperation. No single rod can break easily, but when bound together, they form a powerful, unbreakable whole. Weinman used this classical symbol to reflect the unity of the American states and the strength that arises from working together. Wrapped delicately around the fasces is a long olive branch, representing peace, diplomacy, and the nation's desire to avoid conflict while still possessing the strength necessary for protection. These two symbols together send a profound message. The United States seeks peace, but it stands ready and united to defend itself when needed. The inscriptions "United States of America, $1 dime," and "E pluribus unum" encircle the design with bold national identity. Minting of the 1928 dime took place at 3 United States Mint locations: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; and San Francisco, S Mint Mark. Each version has variations in rarity and value. The Philadelphia Mint produced the highest number, around 19.4 million, making the No Mint Mark 1928 dime the most common. The Denver Mint, with about 6.8 million coins, created a scarcer edition that collectors often seek, particularly when found in higher grades. The San Francisco Mint, producing nearly 7.9 million, also made a moderately scarce edition, often admired for its sharp strikes and attractive surfaces. Finding a 1928 dime in perfect or near-perfect condition is significantly more challenging today, as many were heavily used in circulation during the 1920s, 1930s, and 1940s. High-grade survivors, especially those with full bands on the reverse, are rare gems in the numismatic world. The composition of the 1928 dime adds to its desirability. Made of 90% silver and 10% copper, it carries real intrinsic value beyond collectible significance. Even a heavily worn example carries silver worth, while a beautiful unworn example can be worth dramatically more. The coin weighs 2.5 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters, and has a reeded edge. These physical characteristics help distinguish genuine Mercury dimes from fakes or altered coins. The 1928 Mercury dime often develops natural silver toning over the decades, ranging from golden, blue, and purple hues to deep charcoal gray. Collectors highly value coins with attractive natural toning, especially when the underlying luster remains bright. One essential value factor in the 1928 dime is the presence of full bands FB on the reverse. This designation refers to the horizontal bands around the fasces, the central binding bands. When these bands appear fully separated and sharply struck, the coin becomes significantly more valuable. A 1928 dime with full bands, especially from the Denver or San Francisco mints, can reach high market prices due to extreme rarity in such sharp condition. Collectors consider full bands the hallmark of excellence for the Mercury dime series. In terms of historical context, the 1928 dime serves as a silver time capsule from a transformative age in American society. The United States was booming economically, jazz culture was thriving, artistic expression was encouraged, and industrial achievements were rising rapidly. Yet beneath this prosperity, financial instability quietly began to grow. The 1928 dime circulated in shops, markets, diners, banks, and homes across the nation during the final calm before the storm of the stock market crash in 1929. Every 1928 dime carries the invisible story of a nation on the edge of dramatic change. People saving, people spending, families preparing for what would become one of the most challenging decades in American economic history. For collectors, the value of a 1928 dime varies widely. A worn example may be worth around $3–10 for its silver content and basic collectible value. Lightly circulated coins range from $20–60, depending on mint mark. High-grade examples, mint state, can be worth hundreds of dollars. The rarest, investment-grade full-band pieces can reach thousands. The 1928 Mercury dime remains a cornerstone of American numismatics, a blend of beauty, artistry, symbolism, history, and value. Its message of peace, unity, and strength lives permanently in its silver surface. And its place in history makes it far more than a coin. It is a relic of America's past, a survivor of turbulent economic eras, and a cherished collectible for generations. Next video. The United States one dime of 1940, popularly called the 1940 Mercury dime, is a small silver coin but carries immense historical depth, artistic brilliance, and symbolic power. Produced during a moment in time when the world was standing on the edge of global war, yet America was still striving for peace, this coin captures the spirit, resilience, and transformation of the American people. The 1940 dime is part of the Winged Liberty Head dime series, minted from 1916 to 1945, designed by Adolph A. Weinman, one of the most respected American sculptors of his era. Although popularly known as the Mercury dime, the obverse does not show the Roman messenger god Mercury. Instead, it presents Lady Liberty with a winged cap, symbolizing intellectual freedom and the soaring power of human thought. The obverse, or the front of the 1940 dime, is a masterpiece. Lady Liberty faces left, her expression calm yet determined, capturing the quiet strength of a nation preparing for an uncertain future. Her winged Phrygian cap symbolizes freedom of mind, freedom of speech, and freedom of ideas, representing the American belief that intellectual liberty is essential to progress. The wings are detailed with small lines showing each feather's structure, and the curls of Liberty's hair flow softly across her face and neck. The word Liberty curves around the upper edge of the coin in bold, capital letters. Beneath Liberty's chin is the national motto "In God We Trust," reflecting the spiritual foundation and collective faith of the American nation. At the bottom of the coin appears the date 1940, marking the final year of a peaceful America before entering World War II. The artist's initials A appear discreetly near the neck, honoring Weinman's contribution to American coinage. The reverse of the 1940 dime carries one of the richest symbolic messages in U.S. coin history. At the center is the fasces, a bundle of wooden rods bound together around an axe blade. This symbol dates back to ancient Rome, where it represented unity, authority, and strong governance. A single stick can be broken, but many sticks bound together cannot. Thus, the fasces represents unity of the states, strength in cooperation, and national resolve. Wrapped around the fasces is a long, elegant olive branch, symbolizing peace, harmony, and America's aspiration to avoid war. Together, the fasces and olive branch express a powerful message. This message was extremely meaningful in 1940, a year when Europe was already torn by World War II and America was still deciding whether to enter the conflict. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "1 dime" surround the design, clearly marking the coin's origin and denomination. On the right side, the motto "E pluribus unum," out of many, one, reinforces the theme of unity found in the fasces. The 1940 Mercury dime was minted in 3 locations. No mint mark below the olive branch. Approximately 65 million minted. Most common version of 1940. Marked D near the lower right of the reverse. Approximately 21.1 million minted. Scarcer than Philadelphia. High-grade examples are valuable. Marked S. Approximately 21.1 million minted. Many examples have weak strikes. Sharp ones are rare and worth much more. The composition of the 1940 dime is 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 2.5 grams with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters and a reeded edge. The silver content ensures that even the most worn piece has intrinsic melt value. Over time, these coins can develop natural toning, beautiful shades of gold, blue, purple, or gray, which collectors often highly appreciate. A critical feature for evaluating the coin's value is the presence of full bands FB on the reverse. This refers to the horizontal bands around the fasces. If these bands are completely separated and fully struck, the coin is designated as full bands. Such coins are far rarer and significantly more valuable. The 1940's full bands is especially coveted by collectors due to its scarcity. The historical context of the 1940 dime is equally powerful. The year 1940 was a turning point in world history. Europe was engulfed in war, Nazi Germany was expanding, and the world was rapidly changing. Although the United States had not yet officially entered World War II, the nation was preparing economically and militarily. The Great Depression had ended only a few years earlier, and Americans were rebuilding their lives, working in factories, and striving for stability. Every 1940 dime that changed hands during those days carried with it the story of American families and individuals who lived through uncertainty, hope, fear, and resilience. It bought groceries, paid for bus rides, bought newspapers reporting global war, and circulated in the pockets of people who would soon witness one of the most significant events in world history. In terms of value, a 1940 dime in heavily circulated condition may be worth $2 to $5, mostly for its silver. Lightly circulated examples are often worth $10 to $25. Higher grade examples O and MS can bring $30 to $300 depending on mint mark and sharpness. However, full bands FB examples, especially from the San Francisco Mint, can reach hundreds to thousands of dollars in top condition. Even though the coin is small, it is a magnificent blend of history, symbolism, and artistry. The 1940 Mercury dime stands as a tribute to America's values, strength, unity, peace, liberty, and resilience. It is cherished by collectors around the world not only for its silver content but for the powerful story it tells. It is a living artifact of pre-war America, a symbol of national transformation, and a reminder of the ideals that guided the nation through challenging times. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A new coin story awaits you every next day.